transportation. You know what I mean? All right. PDP's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has promised to end the ASU strike in his first day in office by tripling the amount spent on education to 20%, which he said is 5% higher than the amount recommended by UNESCO. I'm not saying your head is not in the right place, or even that the promise, is cheap. I'm only saying, well, we'll ask to believe you. On other matters now, in theory, Nigerian youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But in the Nigerian reality, that one, yes. The Academic Staff Union of Universities has been on strike for the last 3 months. So that's 3 months of our youth staying at home and playing 10-10. Students, how market? ASU and federal government matter. It be like the fight between Amaka, the ever-quarreling neighbor, and Titi that can fight for Africa. The fight is everlasting, you know that. Since 1999, ASU has gone on strike 15 times. 15 times in 20 years. Even ASU's regular striking partner, Johesu, is writing a petition to beg ASU to please fear God. In fact, if you take the amount of time ASU has been on strike and convert it into a living thing, that thing will be a mature goat of like 3 years plus. You know, the type that you can turn into very correct ASU with enough pepper. But administration after administration, ASU must strike, and the goat continues to grow in wisdom and tenderness. So, why should I celebrate? History says it is a matter of time before another generation of students are left behind, sitting at home and waiting for the devil to shackle their idle minds with very important work, like finishing the food at home, gossiping, sliding into DMs. That's for those who can afford data shout. So when the devil of idleness took advantage of an opportunity to enjoy free snacks, free shacks, and free knacks, garnished with prize money and fame, it was no surprise because this was the result.
Don't worry. Wait.
Thousands of people lined up to be considered for what some can call the position of Nigeria's #1 lazy youth. Not be me talking more. I'm just waiting I hear. Yes. People fainted, fought, and set up campsite hours before consideration. Made immense preparation just for the opportunity to disgrace their families on the national stage. Anyway. Well, sadly, I don't know if there are leaders of tomorrow in those videos. But I am very sure I saw the desperados of tomorrow. Broken by the desperados of today, a.k.a. the leaders of yesterday, today, until further notice. Is it the same leaders whose children are too good for such auditions and too good for schools that go on strike? Terrible. Nonsense and ingredients. The leaders that continue to handicap young people academically, economically, financially, spiritually, and even romantically. Yes, I mean them. Now them go still, they find your small babes with their big bellies. The desperados of today that don't want smart people that ask questions because they need desperate people that ask for food to stay in power. UNESCO says 15 to 20% of a nation's budget should be spent on education. But Nigeria spends less than 9%. I will call it chicken change, but even chicken, self go vex. So, strike or no strike, you can't scam me until I see a government that can carry education on its head, give it the funding that it needs, and retires this striking syllabus. All governments since 1999, they love this syllabus so much, but it's not making sense for the students. In the meantime, what can make me happy is if people use tomorrow, February 8, 2019, to collect their PVCs and vote for such a government, if at all they exist. Please, tomorrow is the last day for PVC collection. Go out there and vote. Vote! Tonight is a musician, a movie actor, the CEO of EME Records, and he's currently running for a seat in the House of Representatives to represent Etiosa local government under the platform of the Modern Democratic Party. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Put your hands together for Banky W in the building! All right.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, Banky, make yourself comfortable, bro.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah. You're making movies, you're making music, now you're into politics.
Something like that.
What sparked this decision?
What sparked the decision was, you know, over the years, in the last 10 years, and I'm sure you know this, I've been kind of a vocal critic of issues in Nigeria. I've been a vocal critic of bad governance. I've been a vocal critic of young people and trying to motivate young people to say, we must participate in the affairs of our nation. But I realized that for the most part, most of us just stop at talking.
Yeah.
And just talking about the problem is no longer enough. If we see that these things need to be fixed, some of us have to be willing to stick our necks out and get involved in the system in order to fix it. And I mean not just from a presidential level. I mean, it's great that there are alternatives running for president, but I wish some of those alternatives were running for Senate or the House of Reps or even the state houses of assembly. We need to infiltrate government in the National Assembly. Nigeria's problems over the years have been top down, but I believe the real solution is from the bottom up. I feel like, you know, thank you. I feel like first of all, to win the presidency of Nigeria, you in 2/3 of the states.
Yep.
Now, as a generation, we don't have the structure or the wealth or the might to really pull that off. But we can start community by community and get one seat in each community and start putting good people of like minds in the National Assembly. You put enough people of like minds, it doesn't even matter who the president is at that point, because you can make wholesale changes throughout the country if you have good people in the House of Reps, in the Senate, in the state houses of assembly. And unfortunately for us, we've never really paid attention to this. As a generation, most of us don't even know who our representatives are. I spoke at a church, and there were 3,000 people sitting in the audience. And I said, guys, please, if you know who your rep is in your constituency, please raise your hand. Baba, now 5 hands I see. In an audience of 3,000 people. And I mean, it's funny,
yeah,
but the truth is, that's the problem. We complain about the system being bad, but we don't even know who we're allowing into the system. We're not holding them accountable for the roles they hold. So why wouldn't the system be bad? We don't even know who our reps are. Talk less of what's your salary, what's your allowance, what's your constituency allocation, what have you done with it all of this time? So part of what we're trying to do is to inspire our generation to say, pay attention to who is running for your rep. Pay attention. Yes, pay attention to who is leading and representing your community. And that's how we fix Nigeria. We fix Nigeria by fixing one community at a time.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
And let me just say this. People don't realize how possible this thing is. And that's partly what we're trying to prove. Etiosa Federal House of Reps in 2015, there were 250-something thousand eligible voters. Do you know how many people bothered to vote for House of Reps? 56K. Do you know how many votes it took to win this seat in 2015? 28,000 votes only. So are you trying to tell me that we can't find 50,000 young people, 50,000, it doesn't even matter age, 50,000 people that think that, you know what, let us start here. We can get this thing done. And when we do it, it will be the rallying point for young, credible Nigeria to spring forth. 2023, I want us to put 40 good legislators in the National Assembly. That's the goal.
Yeah, you said INEC misspelled your name.
Yeah.
There was this error about...
Yeah.
Use this opportunity to talk about it again. What actually happened?
So here's the thing. I mean, I need to pick my words carefully because I don't want to create unnecessary enemies. But the logo that is going to show on the ballot papers is not the official MDP logo. Okay. It's an unfortunate situation.
For those, we are reaching out to people now.
Yeah.
So what is the official MDP logo?
So the official MDP logo is a logo with the ladder. It's this one, actually, the one that's on my head. Okay. Unfortunately, after campaigning for 2.5 months and telling everybody follow the ladder, we now found out that the ladder is not even there. Oh. It's now not a ladder, it's a rising sun. Now, where obviously that's not going to be the MDP logo going forward, but because the elections, right now our eyes are on the finish line, so we can't, there's no time to cry over spilt milk. It is what it is. We've tried to see if they can reprint the ballot papers, and they've said that process has too far gone.
On election day, what will be on the ballot is party logo.
Yeah.
So somebody goes there to look for the ladder.
The good news is this time, it's not just going to be the logo, but the full name of the party and the party acronym. So you will see Modern Democratic Party, you will see MDP, and then you'll see the logo of the Rising Sun. So that's why even with the jingle that Cobams did and everything that we're doing now is driving the name of the party. Baba, please, can you repeat the name? Just make sure I want to know.
Modern Democratic Party is here.
Okay.
If I fail it,
because I tested you before the interview and you were stuck
right in front of me now. Okay, people, you see how we are rolling here. Don't even go anywhere. I know our correspondents are locking around the corner waiting to pounce. So you don't go, it's the other news. Yeah, later on in the show, our persistently vexing correspondent, Dan the humorous, gets up to his usual tricks. But for now, I'm having a fascinating conversation with Mr. Capable himself. So, Banky, I'm sure you heard what Brimo said about musicians who go into politics. He said they are thieves.
Really?
Yeah, that they are thieves.
I missed that.
That they are thieves. Musicians who go into politics. Yeah. So what is your reaction?
So here's my reaction. My reaction is that until now, most of the people, and I don't like making absolute statements that everybody is bad, because not everybody is bad. But I can see why he would say that, because we've seen over decades that a lot of the people who enter public office are entering for selfish interest. They're entering to see what they can get out of the system, as opposed to entering for the intentions of working for the community. Government is public service. If you are in government, you are the #1 servant in the community. That's the job. The job is to serve. The job is to help. The job is to empower. The job is to fix. That's the job. But we've turned it into the reverse, where we use government to say, Your Excellency, Honorable, Baba, anything for the boys. And then they go into office, they milk the system dry for 4 years, and then in election time, they come and hand out peanuts. So I can understand why he says that. But here's the thing.
You're saying basically he's entitled to his opinion.
He isn't. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I understand why people have these kinds of opinions, because they've been disenfranchised and frustrated by what they've seen. Now, the problem is, if we all have this mindset, and if we all stay away from that, then it will forever be dirty and dangerous. It will forever be bad. It will forever be filled with thieves, because all the good people just want to do this. We just want to sit back and say, hey, it's bad. Point fingers, criticize. How about you get up? If you know that you can do the job, get up and do it. Get up and put yourself up.
Because they say society suffers when good men don't act.
Thank you. They also say, Plato said, the punishment for not getting involved in politics is that you'll end up being ruled by your inferiors. And in Nigeria, we can extrapolate that to say, you'll end up being ruled by thieves, or by people who have selfish interests, or by corrupt people, or by people who don't even have the intellectual capacity. You have people running for office who should be in jail or in exile.
True.
That's the reality. So when do the good people say, okay, it's time for us to now enter this same system? And that time has to be now.
It has to be now.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do for the people of Ethiopia that hasn't been done?
Okay. First of all, I think that something that has to be on the agenda for every representative in this country is transparency and accountability. Okay. What I mean by that is this. We have members of the House of Reps who most people in the community are not even paying attention to who they are. Talk less of saying, what are you doing with this office? So we're going to lead by example. We're going to change the standards by living to higher standards. So when I get in, I'm going in as a torchlight to say, guys, this is the salary, this is the allowance, this is the allocation given to Etiosa, this is how we plan to use it. I'm going to run an active constituency office, which every rep should have. We're going to have periodical town halls, where we will sit with the community and discuss ideas, listen to the problems, and present plans to fix them. This has to be what is going on now is that the reps, because nobody knows who they are, some of them are just using it to enrich their pockets, to enrich themselves and the people around them, and nobody's saying, okay, this allocation that was given to you, what did you do? What did you fix in the community? Who did you empower? That's the job.
Let's stop talking about Etiosa. I know you have a lot to talk about Etiosa.
Okay.
Nigeria generally. Yeah. I keep asking politicians this question. If you had to fix one thing about this country, what would that thing be? Okay,
so the thing that I think would help the country as a whole, but it's not a job that a rep can do alone.
No, I'm not talking about what a rep can do.
So just in general in the country?
But reps, you know, lights.
Lights. Has to be light.
Oh, lights.
Has to be electricity.
Let there be light as you know light here.
If you, the president, and this is a challenge to the people running for president, the administration that fixes electricity will immediately become the greatest administration in the history of Nigeria.
True.
So let's get it done. Let's get it done.
In fact, let alone, I would say, let's just do 1 point agenda for any government coming in. Now, just do light.
Just do light.
Leave every other thing, do light.
You know.
Anyway, it's time to play our trivia game.
Yeah,
just so that we end on a fun note. Okay.
Okay.
So I just say the word, something that you can identify with that word.
Okay.
Nigeria.
Great country.
ECOWAS.
Great organization, potentially.
Jollof rice.
The best ever.
080.
They are not paying me anymore.
House of Reps.
Banky W.
Senate.
Banky W in the future.
Lawyers.
Lawyers are necessary.
CJN.
I don't even know what to answer with this. CJN, a lot of issues.
Code of Conduct Tribunal.
A lot of issues.
Corruption.
Has to go.
All right, thank you very much, man. Thank you for your time.
So just ask me one of them again.
Okay, you want to go back to...
Ask me another word.
Okay, Code of Conduct.
Vote for MDP.
All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Banky W one more time. It's the other news, don't even go anywhere. Given his constant anger levels, I sometimes find myself wondering when we are all going to see him combust on national TV. Well, you know who I'm talking about. So, Dan, is today that day?
It's not, though. In fact, today is worse than the worstest of days. Because you remember here on this same show, when the gates of campaign were flung open, they were indeed flung open with fire with these two gentlemen.
I've been speaking with Mr. Segun Sowumi and Mr. Festus Keyamo. At this junction, we close.
And it was on this same show, I said, you people should calm down. But they didn't listen. They didn't listen. Now we are counting days to the election, and the fire, you know what the rappers say? It has gone off the hook, off the hizzy, manizi, machizi.
We know of his relatives who take 2,000 naira transport money from us to go to Kaduna. Today, they are multi-billionaires. They have assets all over the world.
Of the rails, it has the punches have become personal and lethal.
What is your daughter doing in the villa? Your daughter, blood daughter, not your niece. Your daughter works with the president in the villa. What is your daughter still doing there till today?
Ew! That's that kind of punch you receive and they say he wasn't ready. Hi, Kayamo gave Galadima one, yeah. But we don't need all of that, man. Now, this is mainstream media where there is censorship and moderation. And it's happening like this. Have you been to Facebook Street recently? Or have you been to Twitter Street recently? Just imagine a combination of Balogu Market and Oshodi together with a London Derby Day when Chelsea and Arsenal are playing on London Street. Join these three scenarios of chaos together. That's what's happening on social media. How much more for our own personal or interpersonal relationships with each other? You know, before, if you enter bar, somebody will just say, barman, give everybody one bottle. Now, somebody will enter bar, barman, give only my party members one bottle. So we that don't belong to his party now, nothing for us. You see young boy, you want to chat a girl up, you say, hello, how are you? Fine girl, how do you do? You say, please, excuse me, hello, where do you belong? You say, no, I'm PDP. I say, no, I'm a coalition girl, please. If you're not for the coalition, like, duh. What? These elections will come and go. Nigeria will still remain. Can that be said of your personal or interpersonal relationships with other people that you have affected and destroyed because of elections? Come to think of it, do you know that these people who are the political actors, when they talk on TV, you hear them go, oh, like my good friend will say, oh, don't mind my dear brother of the opposition. So you people are still brothers and friends. Then you will not make us to now be quarreling on your matter. These people meet themselves at VIP lounge of airport. Meanwhile, you supporters, come on, God blesses and water park that you people gather. You will scatter everywhere. Let's begin to use our kidney in this country for God's sake. Because look, at the end of the day, nationhood is what is most important. So we cannot impede our brotherhood and sisterhood for political actors who are doing this like Nollywood. Let us ensure that whatever it is, our womanhood and manhood is kept very firm. Now put your hands on your chest. Raise your other hands. Say it with your chest boldly. Chee!
I don't know what is wrong with his kidney. Well done, humorous once again, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's our show for today. Thank you for sticking with us on this joy ride. Let's do it again, same time, same place next week. Talk to us and catch some exclusive content on our social media pages. Our handle remains The Other News CTV across all platforms. You can be part of our amazing studio audience. Just call the numbers on your screen. Our people say the best thing we no get village. You know they run from village people. Till next time, my name is Okey. Love you.